Hello guys, this is Swag Officer Succubus here, and I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial on how to draw Disgaea Succubus, the beginner's guide. Now this is the optimal suck you want. The optimal succubus. She looks great, looks fantastic. Best one I want. There are other designs that I will get into detail a little later, but all in all, what I want the most is that one. But there's other designs like hold on, let me crap, I actually lost it. Like this one right here. Hey guys, today it's going to be the beginner's guide on how to draw my favorite succubus. So you see, optimal one right here, my favorite. There's also a second design right here. Not as good, but still a good contender. But we're going to focus on the other one as a reference because we're going to be primarily focusing on the not just focusing on the concept art, but just starting it by yourself. Give yourself a kickstart into the art. It's 40 seconds in. We're going to start it in a minute. So what you want to do is first figure out what you want to do for your positioning, what you want the succubus to be doing. So say if you want to do something like this, just like a head, torso, body, and just have her standing around like an idiot. This is the basic shape, and the basic outline is we have the head, and then for the body it should be about 3 heads since she's short stack. And for the legs, it should be about 3.5 to 5, somewhere in the middle, for the heads, for the legs. So, head, body, legs. Now this is just like a sample thing. This is going to be a little more complicated and more variable in practice, but this is the general idea. So for this tutorial, what we're going to do is just simply have her play with a made-up gun. So what we're going to do is start with the head, and we need to be very selective with what we do here. So we've got a head right here, neatly made. Then we have to include a bit of the neck, torso it. And what we want to do is try our best to follow the ratios, so to speak. And then just go around like this. Erase it a little bit. And we should have a really basic outline on what we can get started with. See, we've got her hands covering up something on her chest. You know what I mean? Can't go into detail or it's not YouTube guidelines friendly. And don't be afraid to expand the image a little bit. Say if it's a little too small for you, just pull it down a bit. And then just add whatever is necessary for the image to work, basically. Look, I've got the basic direction of the feet here as well. So this foot goes this way, and that foot goes that way. So we know exactly, and let's calculate it. So we've got the head, body, and for the legs there's roughly 4 to 5. Head, body, legs. Golden rule. Now, an important thing that you don't really have to follow 100% on is the curvature of the succubus. So normally they have like an hourglass shape figure for their torso like this, and then they have really wide hips and just massive flesh armor deposits on their front of the chest, and it should be around like this, presumably. Though it's a very rough shape, this should be how it is for the most part. And their legs would be even a little like hella driftwoody, very on the thick side. So I'm just gonna toss that out a bit. This is the optimal, but it's very rough, so it's not 100%. But that's just a general idea. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna start with her head. That's kind of the most important part, and figure out the shaping of her ears first. You know, I love them pointed ears. Gotta have those. Clean up the lines a bit too, actually. Just get the interior all nice. Make it, give the head some additional shape. And what we want to do is make it so that it's easier for us down the road. Not going to have too much detail on this one, but it's going to give you a basic idea on what we have to do if we want this to succeed. Or, you know, be optimal enough for me to give you a head pat on the internet. You know, like, okay, so we're going to zoom in a bit, do a little bit of the basic facial features, like just do some of the eyes. This looks really dumb, but this is going to help us. See, now we're just going to do this, the side bangs of her hair, like this, and just do a little bit of squiggly stuff, like this, see? And you've already got a very key component of it done already. I know I sometimes draw her bald to help me out with a bit, but, you know, I usually just go to the hair straight away so that I know what kind of perspective I go to. But if you're going to draw her bald, make sure you plan it out very well before you draw the succubus bald if you're into that stuff. Maybe I'll have a tutorial for that later, but that's neither here nor there. So I like to draw the horns evenly, mostly out of convenience. And what we're going to do is we're going to work from top to bottom, because it'll be easier for you, and we can work it section by section, which is, it's organized, and we don't have to focus on one part too long now. And so now we just got to do the hair, and that should be now that is a good start. Now we're going to move down to her neck for a bit. So we're going to clean up the outlines, just remember where they were. And now we're going to work on her neck, which should be relatively simple. And then we're going to slowly work our way down to the body of things, which, as far as I know, will eventually get a little complicated, but not too complicated. You see now, get the neck. Remembering basic anatomy is also helpful with this too. And make sure the shoulders are a little curved like this, depending on the arms. Get a little bit of the indents. That should get the little bit piece of cloth on her neck, and that should be a relatively good start. Now, remembering where everything on the torso is, what you want to do is, considering where the arms are, you want to have a good sense of shape. So the middle is very thin with the hourglass figure. So what you want to do is pre-plan your tits. So since her arms is a little bent, we can and it's a little perverted, I know, but this is like part of the trade, man. And what I'm doing here is pretending that they're water balloons and that are being held up by a stick, which is her arm in this case. As you can see here, it's going to start to take shape the moment I get to it. It's going to need a little bit of editing, but you know, it's a start. So now we can start working on this arm right here. And we're still working from top to bottom, kids. If you're a kid and you're watching this, you're a little too young for this, you know? So we have the arm. Now have the perspective necessary to make the arm a reality. See? I'm going to turn it into a little nub. Make it a little nub before we add the hand. Know where it is. And then for the other side, we're going to do the same, pretty much the same thing. Just have her handless. Make her eligible temporarily for the Special Olympics, you know? So I'm just studying, like, I know the basic anatomy. This is a completely different pose from this image right here, eh? Hashtag originality. Hashtag shoutouts to cackling. It's gonna be a meme in and of itself. So, right after you're done with this arm thing, what you want to do is continue, like, fixing up like certain parts of it. Now you don't have to be perfect, you know. You can be as lazy as you want to be, but I appreciate effort in all grounds. So what you do is do all this. I'm not going to be too detailed, but this is a really good start. So you see the thumb and the hand, and look at that. It's a pretty good start. And what we're going to do next is modify the tits a bit and just shape them around a bit, play around with them, get them to a shape that looks relatively natural or fitting, depending on the context. Gonna have her have an inappropriately sized chest for this one because I like them a lot. Now I know it's a little weird, but stay with me, man. Stay with me. Next, what we're going to do is go down from the top of the body to the midsection. So now we have this part already done. So for the hourglass figure, what we're going to do is do it like this. See, something like this for the midsection. So now we're gonna, with that in mind, we're gonna do it like this. Look at that. And we're getting there. We're getting to my favorite succubus. Kotaku, you better make a freaking article. I'm disappointed in you. You're about gaming. This is a girl in gaming that you should cover so I can rip you a new asshole, ironically. Because I have more knowledge about it than any of your journalists will in an entire lifetime. Because I spent an entire lifetime in researching it. So I'm just adding some basic clothes. Make it as YouTube friendly as possible. She's got a little bit of a patsy going on. Just color it purple. And that should be enough for YouTube's stupid standards. Yeah. Better not flag me, YouTube, or I'm gonna be really mad that I won't be able to live stream. So what you're gonna do is, you know, with the legs, you gotta pay attention to the lines like I wasn't doing here. And pretty much focus your attentions to where your lines are gonna be. They'll pass. They'll pass. So we're gonna go around and edit the lines a little bit. Work on yeah, just focus on the lines, the line work, and don't worry about things too much. That's a good rule of thumb. And I'm just cleaning it up a bit. Get them all nice and cleaner. And what you're gonna do is just after you're done with this, you're gonna want to fine-tune the lines by as much as you want, and then you should be good, pretty much. Me, I'm just doing a little bit of the minimalist thing because you know, just gotta make those hips a bit thicker. And see where this is taking us. This is looking to be like a pretty good souk right now. It's a really good succubus. And what we're gonna do next, right after this, is just clean up lines, and that's it. There is no secret ingredient. And this is let's see here. It's all rough. It's disgusting. It's dumb, but this is gonna help you out, man. This is gonna really get you started into the YouTube thing if you wanna, you know, compete against me. As a joke. Alright, so we're getting near the end of this image. Just gotta do it like, see. And this is looking already pretty good. See, just boots, stuff. And now it's just like a coloring book with a little bit of line work here and there. You know, so whenever I want to, I could easily post-edit this, and yeah, that's your succubus. But now we gotta add in the extra bits, like the tail, not the wings this time, but you know, just the tail and a little more of the hair, just to. Give her hair a little bit of a uniform design. Little bit of basic shading on the back of the hair. And oh boy, what a succubus! So that's how you get the basics of the succubus going. So let me just edit it a bit. Yeah, and it's all done in MS Paint. Well, I used the Wacom Cintiq. You can use a you know, a sketch pad or a something or whatever. The horns are a little small, but you know, but it's a great start, and that's how you draw the succubus from Disgaea. Just follow these steps